Alright, time for everything to go to pot and see if Peggy's the same as she always is. Alright, so I'm just gonna click through these quick because I don't want to skip over Peggy. I mean, I do want to skip over Peggy, but I don't. He shot me a glare. Okay. Sorry, Danny. They drifted away from me, angry and sad and disappointed. I felt the same. Was there really no one who believed in me? It didn't take long for me to realize that someone had been missing from that group. Peggy. I turned around to go look for her, but... Nope, she's the same. A tearful Peggy stood in front of me, her hand still raised. What the hell is wrong with you? I stared at her in shock. I thought you were different from the rest of them. I thought you actually cared. I thought you cared about me. I do care about you. Hang on a second, give me a chance to explain. I didn't do anything. How am I supposed to believe that? I don't know. I don't know how to convince you. I saw the proof. All of the evidence adds up, as unfortunate as it is. And I'm not one to ignore problems and just hope they'll magically be okay on their own. I can't do that for you, Flynn. As much as I really want to, I can't. But you know what kind of person I am. You've spent months getting to know me. You know I wouldn't do something like this. Not to everyone in the hostel, not to you. In all the time you've known me, have I ever broken the law? Have I ever even lied? Okay, maybe I've lied a little, but never about anything big. You should know me by now. It made complete sense that Peggy would be upset with me, but I found myself arguing with her, trying to make her see the truth. I didn't want to be a bad person, not in her eyes. I wanted her to see the real me, the person she liked, the one she had feelings for, the one she trusted enough to help her with all her problems. It was stupid, but she made me feel good about myself. She made me feel like I was cool, even when I knew I was not. So now, even though I knew I shouldn't, even though I knew I might make her feel bad, I found myself arguing against all logic and reason. Please trust me. I would never do something like that. Peggy's lip trembled, her eyes scanning the floor. I want to believe you. Then do. I know you're afraid, but please trust me. Peggy put her face in her hands. I can't do this. I need to go. I need to think. Peggy. Please, Flynn. If you care about me at all, please leave me alone. She left, evidently heading for her bedroom. Wow. Sounds rough, that whole situation. Brendan rounded the corner, a smirk on his lips. You're a piece of shit, you know that? No need to get all angry. Peggy's a bright girl, I'm sure she'll come to the rational conclusion. It's good that you're obeying her commands, though. I always knew who wore the pants between you two. He chuckled and climbed the stairs up to the rooms. Ugh. I'm glad that Flynn actually just called him a piece of shit. That felt so satisfying. I like Flynn. Should I go check on her? If I didn't, she might... Let her be. Let her be. Let her be. No, she told me not to bother her if I cared about her. I couldn't enforce my desires over hers. I just hoped this was the right decision. Shaking my head, I headed for my bedroom. I just wanted to sleep. Alright, so let's say things are great. Friends? No. Okay. Hi, Brendan. I will try to understand you. I will attack you one day, though. Just you wait. Oh, this is different. She's gossiping a little differently. As I was coming down the stairs, I heard Ray's voices from the next room. Was always kind of rude, really. And this one time we went skydiving and he practically pissed himself from fear. Couldn't stop heaving afterwards, but he swore up and down that he was fine. What a liar. My heart sank. Peggy was gossiping about me to the others, just like I was one of her terrible sixth form friends. Like she didn't care about me at all anymore. I could barge in and tell her to stop, but what would be the point? Alright, James, there's your money. I guess we should do this just because it's about Peggy. I went down to get a snack and ran into Ashley in the kitchen.
Oh, Flynn.
Hi.
Hi. Peggy's been saying things about you. Like that you went to a couples contest on our beach trip and you cursed out the announcer on stage in front of everyone.
After she said that, she shot a look at me, as if judging my reaction to see if it was true.
I don't think it's a big deal to the guys. They generally tune her out when she starts talking like that, but I thought you might want to know. Okay then, I'll be going.
Ashley was still polite to me generally, and the guys really didn't seem to care all that much about the scandal anymore. We were friendly on our own terms. But it was uncomfortable. I'd rather be outside than inside. I guess she didn't mention the fact that she was insulted and I stood up for her. No. It had been more than a week since I had spoken to Peggy. She spent most of her time now at university, focusing on her studies. Apparently, there were some volleyball games she played in as well, but I didn't go. I wasn't about to infringe on her desire for space. For all I knew, she never wanted to speak to me again. But she spoke to others about me. Oh, did she ever speak to others? It seemed every other day I heard from another person in the hostel, Peggy was talking about you again. For the most part, I didn't want to hear what they had to say. Mostly because it wasn't good. Instead, I spent my time in the hostel's front lawn. It was getting to warmer weather, at least. Understanding the English climate was still a little difficult, but it was nice to be outside. It was the kind of hobby I picked up. Partially because it was interesting and I needed something to do, and partially because it reminded me of... Hey! I looked up from my spot in the corner of the lawn. Peggy stood at the entrance to the street, hands in her pockets. Hey! She walked over to me. I stood and dusted my hands. How are you?
I'm doing well. Better than before. I had some time to think, you know.
I nodded.
But what's all this?
This is... a secret. Actually, you should be able to tell what it is. You gave me the idea for it. She squinted closely at the plants in front of me, then scanned the rest of the yard.
Are you... composting?
Yes, you got it! Or I'm fertilizing these plants with some of what I managed to compost. I think, at least. I'm still kind of winging it, so I'm not sure if I rushed it or...
Why are you composting?
I looked at her, caught by the urgency in her voice. I didn't have anything else to do?
Is that it? Is that your only reason?
Fine. You inspired me. Well, I'd been thinking about the things you said, and I wanted to try making a difference, even if it was only a tiny one.
Flynn, you...
She started to turn red, and I resisted the impulse to touch her. Don't cry! Please don't cry! I'm not going to cry! I'm mad! Why are you mad? Why can't you stop being a good person? I hate you! Why are you making this so hard for me? I don't understand. I believe you! I believe you didn't do it! It doesn't make any sort of sense, but I'll believe you, okay? Okay. She smacked my shoulder and I stared at her in bewilderment. I hate you! Do you? Yes, I hate you! I feel terrible. Now she was crying. I threw off my composting gloves and pulled her into a hug where she started sobbing into my shoulder. I'm so sorry. I wanted to hate you, I really did. I was so scared. I thought I knew who you were, and the thought that you would have done something like that made me freak out. I couldn't believe in you. You were too dangerous. I cared about you too much. Shh. It's okay, Peggy. But I told everyone so many awful things about you. Did you? Yes. Well, it's all water under the bridge. If you can believe in me now, I'll believe in you. That you didn't mean what you said. That you care about me. I do. I do. I love you, Flynn. Peggy. I love you too. Peggy looked up at me, tears streaming down her face. Big disgrace. You do? Of course I do. Look at me, composting in a garden. You think I would do this if I didn't care about you? I wiped the tears off her face. No, maybe not. Huh, maybe not. Listen to you. You're just so Peggy. I can't help that. She leaned up and kissed me. When she pulled away, her face was red. Hand in hand, we headed back into the hostel to catch up. I think the least she could do is apologize for the things she said and tell everybody that she was wrong for gossiping and slandering and things. But that's just me. Okay, so you want to buy this kind of organic honey because it's much better for the bees involved. Why should I care about the bees? Peggy looked at me with a mixture of shock and fury. The bees are going extinct! They're the cornerstone of our civilization! Without bees, flowers won't be pollinated, food won't grow, we won't have... Calm down, I was pulling your leg. When I casually mentioned earlier that I was hungry, Peggy had gotten that all-too-familiar gleam in her eye. Before I knew it, she had dragged me to some kind of farmer's market. Now she was walking me through the various aisles, explaining the benefits of certain producers and growing methods over others. These cucumbers are made with the absolute minimal amount of pesticides and things. This sweet corn is the best, unlike the genetically modified stuff you guys have in America. You know GMOs aren't necessarily bad, right? We wouldn't have corn like this at all without human intervention. She shot me such a glare that I could only grin back. Peggy was way too easy to tease. Finally, we made it through the entirety of the district, and Peggy had a basket full of fruits and veggies at her side. We checked out at the register, and Peggy handed the woman her card. No, I'll pay. No way! I'm going to be eating most of this, so I'll pay. No, I'll pay. I want to pay. Let me do it. But you don't even have a job anymore! This led to some kind of back-and-forth lover squabble. As entertaining as it was for us, the lady at the register looked about ready to murder us both. Finally, I gave up and let Peggy take care of it. On the walk back, Peggy was oddly quiet. Something wrong? No. It's not that anything is wrong. I was just thinking that it was... nice. Feeling like equals. Even if it means that sometimes we disagree, or sometimes we fight over who pays. We both have opinions, right?
And that's okay. I think that's a good thing.
I do too. Back at the hostel, Peggy cooked a great meal and we snuck away to my bedroom to eat it. A burst of flavor hit my tongue on the first bite, as much as I hated to admit it. This is definitely better with the fresh ingredients.
Organic ingredients.
I just say it's because they're fresh.
Jeez, you are so difficult.
Am I?
Yes, stop it.
Make me.
Do you really want me to make you?
I pause as if deep in thought. Yes, I do. Peggy stood up and rather ceremoniously disrobed.
Oh, what to do? I'm so cold now. I could use someone to heat me up.
As cheesy as it was, I didn't need to be told twice. That was a really fun night, with some great food to boot. Can't go wrong with good food, man.
I like his socks, by the way. I think this is the first time I've noticed his cute little polka dot socks. Alright. I guess that's that. Hi, Danny.
Hey, Flynn. I was on my way from the kitchen with a plate full of food when I ran into Danny in the hallway. He glanced at the chocolate-covered digestives in my hands and gave me a look. What? Would you mind doing me a favor? I've been struggling to get any of my workouts done lately because I've been low on energy. I would love if you would come with me today to keep my motivation up. Workout? With Danny? I looked him up and down. Even through his shirt, I could tell exactly how chiseled and fit he was. And he wanted me to come with him? Me with the plate full of chocolate digestives? I don't think... Thanks. I knew I could count on you. He clasped a hand around my wrist, an iron grip. There was no way I could get out of it. I'm so curious what this is leading towards. He took me to the park, to the beginning of a long trail that wound around its edge. All you have to do is keep pace with me, alright? I still don't... Also, I'll be taking this. He darted a hand into my pocket and took my cell phone. What? If you want it back, keep up with me. Let's go! He took off like a demon, sprinting down the track. I swear clouds of dust flew from his feet. Wait for me! Oh. Wow, Flynn. You did much better than I ever thought you would. I can't feel my legs. We're only halfway there. If I don't see you at the end within 5 minutes of when I get there, I'll throw your phone into the river. What? Bye.
Danny, what are you doing? Are you trying to murder a man? I mean, it's creative.
I came to lying on the dirt, staring up at the open blue sky. A smiling Danny stood over me. I swear I could see devil horns and a curling tail behind him. You did well, Flynn. Here, you can have this back. He set my phone on my stomach lightly as if laying sprinkles on a cake. Thanks for your help. I don't usually ask people to work out with me, but I thought you might appreciate the experience. I've got some schoolwork to catch up on. I'll see you later. He jogged off. I sat up off the ground watching him go. He hadn't even broken a sweat. What kind of superhuman beast was he? I wheezed, my chest in stitches. He was a masochist. Or a sadist. Or both. Definitely both.
But why did he ask us to go?
like we were gonna find some kind of death threat left on our phone. Was that like a friend ending with Danny where he asked us to work out with him? I thought like he was gonna be upset about Peggy for some reason. But now I'm like, it suddenly dawned on me, maybe that's Danny's friendship ending and I'd never gotten it before. If so, amazing. Oh, yeah, here you go, James. I made a lot of friends. Hi, Brendan. Okay, let's start there. If I didn't have to go back to a room that had been scrubbed clean with all of my clothes packed away in a suitcase, I could have assumed it was just another day at the hostel.
Don't disappear just yet. We've got a lot of goodbyes still to say. In my room.
I have to get up really early tomorrow to catch my flight. I should sleep.
You can sleep on the plane.
I know you're used to burning the candle at both ends, but... Okay, I suppose just this once I can stay up all night. Peggy snickered. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Dang. Hey, jokes. She put her hand in mine, and together we climbed the staircase. Get your head out of the gutter, girl. Okay, let's just jump through these. Angela's asleep. That's Mark saying goodbye. Bye, Ashley. Bye, Jihyo. Okay. Alright, that might be it then. Home, James. Or not James. I guess James wouldn't have been bothered to say goodbye to us. Okay, bye. Maybe say hello to Nene and Jinsu. And years later. Alright, here's the epilogue. Let's do it.
How much longer until we're in Leicester?
Relax, we've got time.
How much time, though? I wanted to stop off for coffee. Cheryl from sixth form wouldn't shut up about this place near her hometown that was so much better than anything she had ever had anywhere else.
It's been 6 years, Peggy. Why are you still on about sixth form?
On about? Did you just say on about?
Yes, I quite think I did.
You're sounding more and more like an Englishman every day. You know, minus the accent.
I've spent a lot of time here. It's not that surprising. Peggy and I were traveling across England. She was a successful biochemical engineer with a lively voluntary position as some kind of public speaker for green policies or something like that. To be honest, I didn't know exactly what was going on. It sounded political, and I stayed as far away from that kind of thing in this country as I could, considering I couldn't vote here. But Peggy didn't restrict her activities to any political party or election cycle. She went to community halls, to universities, to town centers, anywhere that would give her a podium, really, and talked about recent advances in green science and technology. Once they were enchanted with visions of vibrant farms and forests, she told them the ways they could be more green in their daily lives. I'm not sure how many people she got through to, but at the very least it seemed to be doing something for her team. They got more money for their research every time she spoke, which was probably why they kept letting her off work to do it. In any event, her speeches were a lot more effective than the time she tried to sponsor punk bands to write songs about saving the Earth. As it was now, we were rushing to our next appointment, and running a little bit late because she'd had her weekly mental breakdown about the ethical and moral questions behind polluting the Earth via traveling to try and save the Earth. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. I told her that and she nodded gravely at me. I didn't know why that worked because it wasn't actually relevant to the question at hand, but at least it got us on the road.
So, can we stop for gelato? I'm hungry.
No, we are not stopping for gelato. Peggy pouted in the seat next to me, and I found myself laughing again. You know, there's never a dull day with you.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't think so. You think I'd have stuck around so long if it was?
I sure hope not.
I wrapped an arm around her shoulders, playing with the ends of her hair.
Hey! Eyes on the road, Flynn!
They're on the road.
No, I know that look. We have places to go, alright?
Oh, now we have places to go. I still didn't have much of my own direction, but right now that was okay. I was happy just following Peggy around, partaking in her whirlwind of a life and keeping her grounded.
I wouldn't be able to do this without you, you know.
I grinned at her and she smacked me.
Eyes on the road!
I winked at her, like I do. I know.
Ah, we did it. We made it through the Peggy route again. Well, at least we had the very entertaining Danny friendship ending. And a couple of different things with Peggy. I was suspicious that not much was going to change with her route, and it does seem like that was the case. But it was still somewhat enjoyable, even if she's still at the bottom of my list, because I still can't get over the gossiping. Ah! But anyway, Peggy does have a neutral and bad ending, which, because I've done those before, should be very straightforward. I'm going to do them just for the sake of having to know. My OCD has to know whether there's anything different there as the guy. So yeah, we'll hop into those next. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, I will see you later.